Here's how to track your website visitors very easily and 3 ways to improve your conversion rates by watching what people are doing on your website. If you haven't used SiteBehaviour before, go sign up. It's very easy to use and all you do is insert a tracking code into the header of your website. It's actually very, very easy to do. Once you've signed up, you'll see a little dashboard like this and you'll start to collect some data. So wait a couple of days after you've inserted the tracking. And then what you can do is click on replay over here and start to see what people are actually doing on your website. So we might see that the engagement is very high. They spent a minute on this website. This person's from Pakistan, 7 clicks, and we can see it's just they visited this blog post, right? So we might see what this person is doing, click session replay. We can see that, we might want to speed this up and then click the play button and they're just like going through the page, copying some stuff. But this is very powerful because you can go into the filters section and you can start to see like people who land on a certain page. So let's say that I'm running ads to like Google Ad Specialist. I'm not, but let's say that is the case. Click apply. And these are all the people who visit that page as the landing page, like the first page they ever see. Now I might want to cross compare people who also visit the thank you page. So these are people who converted but landed on the, Google Ad Specialist page. So then I start to see the pattern between these people, that they're all highly engaged, which countries they're coming from, that these people actually turned into leads, and I can start to see buying behavior and things like that. I can see that this person came from ChatGPT versus Google, all this kind of stuff. So it's very, very powerful on what this tracks. Now, here are 3 ways on how to use this. One of the first ways is to know which sections are actually getting seen on your website. So we all have our ego that gets in the way, right? We create a landing page and maybe we've created many before and we're like, hey, we know our business inside out. We wrote that copy. We think it's going to convert. And that's your ego getting in the way. So you need to test everything, right? You need to A/B test everything. So what you might find is you go through these session recordings in general, and you might find that a lot of people aren't getting past this first section on your page. I've got all the important stuff down the bottom. Like I've got my testimonials here. I've got, just other stuff down here that I need people to see so that I can convince them to convert into a sale or a lead. What you might find with these session recordings is that, hey, most people from Google Ads, for example, or maybe I'm running Facebook ads and I switch the source. So I go into here and I filter for people who are coming from Facebook. I might find that, I don't think I've got anyone converted from there because I'm not running it, but I might find a lot of them aren't converting. So it's like, am I attracting the right people to my page? Why are most people from Facebook like bouncing? What the heck? It makes no sense. It's one of 2 things. Your tracking is off, like the accuracy of your tracking, location targeting, all that kind of stuff is off, or keywords you're bidding on. Or it's the fact that your headline sucks and people just don't want to continue through the page. You might find that you're not sprinkling enough social proof. You haven't got social proof higher up on the page or whatever, or your image is too distracting or something, right? So use these session replays to know which sections seem to be working and which sections are being ignored so that you can reorder all the persuasion points through your page and you can improve your conversion rates. Let's move on to the next thing. The second way of using these session recordings is to compare your high converters with your non-converters. So for example, you're watching people who have super low engagement and see how they compare in behavior compared to the high engagement converters. And then you start to compare with this guy. Like we'll say from Bangladesh, probably not going to convert. They're not an ideal client, so I could probably ignore that. But people from the United States who have medium, I might find they, landed on that page and they exited on that page. They weren't interested, even though they spent a full minute. So they seem to be scrolling. They're kind of selecting some stuff. They're being weird. They're doing human stuff. 12 clicks, whatever, but it looks like they were just reading if I go 1 speed and then they clicked on the video. And you can start to see whether or not I should be like moving stuff around. Should I be like playing around with the headlines a little bit? Should I, you don't have to, like you don't just take one person as an example and then change everything about your website. It doesn't work that way. And that's also a bad idea. Like don't get into that habit of just changing everything because of one person. It just gives you some ideas on what you can do to improve the conversion rates from there. So the final thing is finding broken or confusing sections on your website. And sometimes this is the way I find that out, right? I might think that my website's fine and then I'm just combing through some of these recordings and find that, I've got a broken section here and there or an image isn't loading. I'm like, shit, I didn't realize that until I watched the recording. So I use these session recordings for that reason. That's just to see what people are doing. Could I have saved that lead? Could I have converted them into a sale if I had fixed that button? Probably. If someone finds a broken image on your website, it creates distrust in you that you're not competent enough and they won't convert into a sale. Same with like links and things like that. It just has a bad impression on your brand more than a lot of people know. If you've got any questions on these session replays, leave them below. I'm more than happy to answer you. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you come up with. See you in the next video. Cheers.